Okay, I was just talking with a new acquaintance, and she and I were discussing some ideas. And, you know, I don't know, I kind of have this understanding about life, and I really don't care if the rest of the world agrees with me or not, because if you cannot agree with this, then that means that you guys are the psychopaths, okay? Those that can't fall in line with this in harmony, you guys are the psychopaths, and I'm just gonna fucking mow you over. I'm gonna do the very best I can. I'll try to do the least amount of damage to you as humanly possible. But the story goes like this. Hey man, when we get here in life, and this includes you too, everyone that is born into this life gets taken into, especially as a child, you get taken into the bondage of the world that you're around, the norms, the values, and ideas. And it doesn't matter if those norms, values, and ideas are right or wrong. You still get conditioned by them, okay? And then the burden becomes yours as this innocent being that's just that is reliant and helpless from the very beginning, has to rely on those that are greater than himself or herself to learn. This is just the process that we go through. But this was never our story from the beginning, okay? This is somebody else's playbook when we arrive, okay? And it takes us into the bondage of itself. And we never really get out of that without this burden of the wrongs that culture creates get projected and laid upon us as individuals, as innocent beings. We got to the demands of this story lay that burden upon you. Those are the demands of this culture and this story that you arrive in. This bondage and slavery that you become entrapped by. When all you really wanted to do is, once you figure out what's what, at least a few things, and if you don't have a lot of things traumatizing you in one way or another, and I mean legitimate trauma, abuse, okay? Violent abuse. That's exactly what I mean by trauma. So, if you've had that happen to you, and then, then this has been a very violent system upon you. This has been a very violent story, okay? And you're innocent from that. Fuck them, okay? And you have the right to step out of that storyline right fucking now. Right now. Step right out free of everything that you've ever done wrong. Step right out and walk the other way. And the other way is a story devoid of all of the pitfalls of the one that took you into bondage. Yeah. That's the one I'm talking about. And that story relieves from you the burden of the story you arrived under. And so really you get to create your own story, which you should have been able to do in the very beginning. But some things hold you back longer than others. But having an awareness how abuse and how the responsibility for that is not upon yourself, but upon those things that affected you to mold and shape who you are. And all of those things have a huge impact upon you. And this is how human beings are formed in this culture. This is how we come to development. These are the natural causes and conditions. Even if they're wrong, they're still what you get hammered with, okay? And you have a right to get out of that. Fuck that. A construct or a system or a story that says that you are responsible for that burden that it created and then projected onto you, actually placed upon you, is a very evil story. So, and that's certainly not the story that you would write for yourself if you came into this and did not have all of those burdens piled upon you. And only when you have that can you have free choice. Otherwise, it's a choice in constant states of fucking duress. One continuous, long state of duress. And all decisions were made under undue influence. And I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're a PhD, you suffered from it too. If you were conditioned by this story, you suffer from it too. You're in fucking denial, pal. So, I'm stepping the fuck out, and I don't care what the rest of the society, this storyline says about it. And if you challenge me on it, well, it depends on the level that you challenge me on it. Any way you look at it, any level you challenge me on it, you're going to have a fight on your hands. So, and you know what? I'm just going to put my life where I've been putting it for a very long time, in God's hands. Whatever God is. And in the meantime, I'm going to do everything I can do to correct the fucking shit that's wrong here. All of it. As much of it as I can. For as long as I can. And I've been committed to doing that for some time. And I'm going to make some major headway on this. Why? Because I'm logical. That's why. I'm rational and I'm reasonable. And you're not. If you're supporting a construct and a system and a story that would take you into bondage and keep you there and burden you. I'm not part of that. I will fight that with every fiber of my being, every breath I take. So, that's where I'm at on it. But I like the idea of the storyline. I mean, it's not just an idea. It's the reality of my own story that I'm creating without all of that undue influence. One I had a right to from the very beginning. So, and I will fight you for every fucking square inch. Every square millimeter, motherfucker. You know? That's really how I feel about it. And, you know, it's up to God. It ain't up to me. So, that's a humbling reality. That's a humble foxhole to be in.